Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Now that Kyle Richards' close friend Morgan Wade has finished touring for the time being, she's spending some much-needed time with her family. The musician posted a series of photos and videos from her time with her family in Georgia on Instagram on April 16th. Fun with the fam, Morgan wrote in the caption of her post, which started off with a selfie of her and her mom. It also featured photos of her sister relaxing in front of the TV in an unusual place. Also, this child lays in a basket to watch TV, and I'll never get over the level of unbothered she is, Morgan concluded in her post. Kyle took to the comments section to share her thoughts on the photos. "I love these pics." The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills cast member wrote along with 2 red heart emojis. Just a few weeks before Morgan spent some time at home with her family, she was on tour in Europe, and Kyle went along for part of the journey. The diamond holder shared insight into the trip during an Amazon live stream on April 8th. "Europe was great," she noted during the live stream. The mom of 4 revealed that they had traveled to places she loves, but this trip was also an opportunity for her to visit new cities. "I always love Paris. I love Amsterdam. I love London. I had not been to Manchester or Scotland or Dublin before, and everybody was so nice. They were all great. Such a different feeling in each place." During part 3 of the RHOBH Season 14 reunion, Kyle shared insight into her tight-knit friendship with the country singer. "When the chatter first started happening, before the music video and all that would never have crossed my mind," she said about the rumors that circulated afterwards about how the ladies might have been more than just friends. "I have a very specific type, and I started thinking, is this a crush? I don't know." Kyle began to question her feelings for Morgan afterwards, though she has continued to insist that they are just friends. "It did make me think, well, what is going on here? You know, maybe I'm not seeing something," she admitted on the reunion stage. The sun dipped low over the hills of Beverly Hills, casting soft orange shadows across Kyle Richards' spacious backyard. She stood at the edge of her terrace, a glass of chilled Ross in her hand, her iPhone buzzing with notifications that hadn't stopped since early morning. Another day, another headline. But this one hit different. "Kyle, did you see it yet?" her assistant texted. She hadn't. Not yet. With a sigh, she tapped the Instagram icon. The algorithm, well-trained in celebrity entanglements and subtle emotional warfare, already had the post at the top of her feed. It was Morgan Wade. Not a carefully curated performance clip. Not a shot from one of her moody album covers or a teaser from a tour. But a photo, authentic, unfiltered, of Morgan smiling next to her mother and a little niece on a front porch in the Appalachian Hills. Kyle's breath caught. There was Morgan in denim, no eyeliner, freckles bold against her cheeks, her tattooed arms wrapped gently around the child on her lap. The caption read, "Back home. Love runs deep." For a moment, Kyle forgot the chaos, the cameras, the tabloids, the pointed questions at every reunion taping, the tension that clung to her like a shadow every time someone asked, "So, are you and Morgan just friends?" This was Morgan, as she rarely showed herself. Raw, grounded, soft in a way that few people got to see, and Kyle knew deep down she had once been among that rare few. She tapped the post open again, heart racing now, absorbing every detail. The chipped white paint on the porch railing, the mason jar in Morgan's mom's hand, the wild grass in the yard. Morgan had never posted about her family. Kyle remembered late-night conversations during their time together. Morgan talking about growing up in a small town where people didn't quite know what to do with a girl like her. How music became both her sword and her shield. How family had once been complicated, then healing, then sacred. Kyle sipped her Ross and stared at the photo again. There was no visible trace of Beverly Hills glitz. No hint of designer anything. And yet, Kyle had never seen Morgan look more content. And wasn't that the thing that made her reaction so layered? It wasn't jealousy, not exactly. Kyle had long since learned how to compartmentalize that particular poison. No, this was something subtler. A soft ache, Nostalgia, maybe. Or the slow realization that she no longer had exclusive access to that version of Morgan. Kyle thought back to Aspen, where they first bonded. Not the trip Bravo aired, but the one just before, when cameras weren't around. Morgan had been playing an acoustic set at a local bar, and Kyle, fresh off another argument with Mauricio, had ducked in, drawn by the gravel in her voice and the pain in her lyrics. They'd locked eyes. That was it. From there, it had all spiraled. Gym sessions, matching tattoos, songwriting retreats. The friendship had taken on a life of its own, fierce, electric, and impossible to explain without raising eyebrows. She remembered how vulnerable Morgan had been, even when she hid behind bravado. She remembered the first time Morgan played her a song that hadn't been released yet, how Kyle had cried, something that rarely happened without a camera crew nearby. And now, seeing Morgan post a piece of her life that felt sacred without Kyle in the frame made it clear. Morgan had moved on. Or at least, Morgan had found a piece that didn't include Kyle in the center of the frame. The comments were flooding in. OMG, Morgan, your niece is so cute. This is the side of you we love seeing. I feel like this says so much without saying anything. Kyle closed the app. She wandered back inside the house, the air cool and quiet. Her daughters were all out, and for the first time in weeks, there were no cameras filming in the kitchen. Just her. Just silence. She walked past the piano Morgan once sat at, plinking out melodies between bites of salad. Past the framed photo of the two of them at the People's Choice Awards, laughing, mid-joke, before things got complicated. She stood in the living room, staring at her reflection in the oversized mirror. This house had seen so many versions of her. Wife, mother, sister, socialite, survivor. But the version she'd been with Morgan? That had been a different kind of Kyle. Less guarded, less polished, more real, ironically. She didn't regret it. Any of it. But the ache lingered. The next morning, Kyle did what she hadn't done in weeks. She put on leggings, laced up her sneakers, and jogged through her neighborhood alone. No glam team, no assistants trailing behind. Just music in her ears. Morgan's music. The lyrics hit harder now. Not because they were new, but because they were layered with understanding. Kyle didn't double-tap the post. She didn't comment. But she did send a text. You looked really happy in that photo. I'm glad. Hope you're good. No heart emoji. No questions. Just that. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Then, after a moment, reappeared. Morgan replied, Thanks, Kyle. I am. Hope you're good too. It wasn't closure. It wasn't a spark reigniting. It was something else. Mutual respect. A quiet peace. And maybe that was enough for now. In the glittering hills of Beverly Hills, reality isn't always what it seems. Between red carpet glam and behind-the-scenes drama, few relationships have sparked more curiosity in recent years than the surprising bond between Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Kyle Richards and country singer Morgan Wade. Their connection, equal parts mysterious and magnetic, has fueled tabloid headlines, social media debates, and intense speculation. But when Morgan unexpectedly opened up about her family in a rare social media post, the moment struck a very different chord, especially for Kyle. It started on a quiet Sunday morning. Morgan had posted a black and white photo to Instagram. No filters, no branding. Just her, a soft smile, and her mother seated beside her on a worn-in porch swing. The caption was simple. Back home, where the roots are deep and the walls remember you. Grateful today. The post was intimate in a way Morgan rarely allowed. Known for her gritty, emotionally charged lyrics and guarded off-stage persona, she had never been one to invite the world into her private life. Fans were stunned, but no one was more affected than Kyle Richards.